Hi, my name is Samantha, and I've been seeing Dr. Joseph R. Vey, a maximized living doctor in North Glen, Colorado. Um, and I wanted to share my family's experience through getting this chiropractic care because it's just been so phenomenal and an answer to prayer for us that I want to share that with other people. Um, there hasn't been a single person in my family who has not been helped by receiving this chiropractic care. This is my daughter Emma. As you can see, she looks a little bit like me. She's cute. So anyway, um, she was having seizures, and this is why we actually started seeing Dr. Arve to begin with. So Emma had first start having problems like this after falling off the top of some monkey bars, and I'll let her tell you what she remembers of that incident.
Well, I was on top of the monkey bars and I was trying to climb to the other side. My foot slipped. I hit my head on the way down and then landed on it. And I got up and my face was like numb and I could barely see out of the side. My sister, she was standing right there and she was just saw me fall. And I asked her, why did this not hurt? She told me, go talk to mom. And so I went to my mom and I told her. She said, what happened? And I said, I was, and then everything just went black.
And I'll tell you what happened from there. She was telling me I was actually I think she said I fell, and then her eyes just rolled back into her head and she dropped to the ground, and I luckily was able to catch her, and so I picked her up, carried her in. I was like freaked out, and um, she was out for probably about between 30 and 40 seconds and came to and didn't remember anything happening. And so an ambulance was called and came and got her. And actually, I tried to stand her up and ask her if you're okay and stuff. And then she went and dropped again in front of me in the school's office where we were. And then she was out again for another 30, 40 seconds. And so the ambulance came and got her. When we got to the hospital, they did a CAT scan and checked her out, and they said, well, we don't see anything, permanently wrong. She had a concussion and what have you. And so sent us home. I didn't really think that it was that important to have her looked at further because they did a CAT scan, and that was pretty thorough. And so then she had another episode occur at school while I wasn't present, and I'll let her talk about that.
Well, we were playing like sort of a tagging, tag, during it and then run. So I tagged this girl and she wanted to get me back, so she was running and she couldn't slow down enough and she sort of pushed me. Then when I went like this, like sort of leaning, um, everything went black and I was on the ground when I woke up and I was like, this just fell. So I got up, I didn't really think anything was happening and I didn't exactly feel right. I felt like dizzy. And then my sister was watching me and I fell to the ground and woke up in the school where an ambulance had been called.
And her sister said that she saw her get knocked to the ground and then stand up and drop to the ground again. And I, again, rushed to the school, followed the ambulance to the hospital. They did another CAT scan, said that everything turned out normal in the CAT scan. There's no concerns. She had another concussion. And so went ahead and sent her home. I took her to the doctor and had a full physical done on her. This was the end of the school year, so I had to go and get a physical for her anyway for summer camp. And they did a full physical on her and said that she was fine, she was great to go to summer camp. And so I, of course, was told not to let her do anything where she could get another concussion because they progressively get worse. So she wasn't allowed to do some things like trampolines and stuff. but however, they said that she could ride a horse. So I went ahead and sent her off to camp, and thank God there was no incident of her falling off a horse or anything. And she came back from the camp, and I found gum that is known to cause problems, has an ingredient that's known to cause problems in people who have seizures, in her backpack. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. She would shake a little bit like this, but not a lot, when she was blacking out and passing out. And so I was trying to keep her away from anything that I knew could trigger this type of stuff. And red dye number 40 is a big trigger for people who have seizures. And also an ingredient, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, but called phenylenolin. And so anyways, I found gum that she was eating that had this in it. And so I called her out of her bedroom. She had already gone to bed, and asked her where she got it and why she was chewing it, because it wasn't allowed. And while I was asking her why she had been chewing it, her eyes rolled back into her head, and she dropped, and I slowly lowered her to the ground, where she proceeded to have a full-blown grand mal seizure. And where her head was back all the way, and she was like choking on her tongue. It was a really scary sight. And I just was like sick of it. I was like, God, you gotta show me what I need to do, because I don't know what to do for her. She keeps having these problems, and the doctors say she's okay. And so I decided to take her to Dr. Joseph Arvey, who I had heard on the radio, and he's a chiropractor. And I took her in, and he saw what was wrong with her right away. He said, I can tell by the way she's standing what the problem is right away. And he had her bend over and showed me her neck, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Normal people's necks would have a straight line down like this, and hers went straight, curved out like that, and then down. So her spinal cord was under a lot of pressure. And so she started getting adjusted. He did x-rays on her and stuff, and she has, this August, it will be a year since she's had a seizure. Thank God. I'm just so grateful. And the reason we're doing this blog is because we want other people who may be having problems and not sure where else to look for help. You might want to consider going and seeing a chiropractor. It worked wonders for Emma and probably saved her life. And so, is there anything you would like to add to that?
I actually got the gum from my teacher because I was doing really good in school, and it was just weird having to just drop. When I woke up, I was wet everywhere, and my mom thought, well, what happened? I'm like, I think I peed.
That can be normal with seizures. What do you have to say to anybody who might be thinking about going and seeing a chiropractor?
I think that you should at least try it. If you don't want to, just try it, because it saved my life.
So, do you like going to see Dr. Joe?
Yeah. It sounds like it hurts at first, but it doesn't hurt at all.
Chiropractors are really actually quite gentle. Well, I hope this helps somebody out there, and take care until next time.